Chosen one. No more cycles of lack. It was decided. This is a message that didn't arrive late. It didn't miss its time, and it didn't come without intention. This is the moment you were made for. The pain you've walked through, the silent nights, the heavy burdens, the closed doors, the betrayals, the unanswered questions. All of it was leading here, leading to this truth. The cycle of lack is over. It has been broken. Not because you begged, not because you forced, but because heaven has spoken. The courtroom of the Spirit has ruled. The divine gavel has come down. The poverty, the constant strain, the recurring emptiness, it will not continue. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And it was decided no more. Watch this video until the very end. Chosen one. Something is shifting in your life right now, and you must hear every word of this message. And please, if your spirit agrees and you feel this confirmation deep within you, go to the comment section and type your warmest wishes and 777 to energize the atmosphere with belief. This isn't just about you. It's about the universal alignment of every dream that's been waiting for the right vibration. Let the world feel what's rising in you. Now, chosen one, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. The old story has expired. The version of you that was tied to survival, to scraping by, to wondering if the bills would be paid, to holding your breath in fear every time the phone rang or the balance dropped too low. That version is gone. It's not returning. It served its purpose. That version helped you build character, endurance, patience, and the kind of spiritual clarity that no textbook or mentor could ever teach. But now, the contract with lack has been revoked. It was temporary, a lesson, a refining process, but not a lifestyle. And hear this, chosen one. What's happening now is not just about money. It's not just about material upgrades, though those are surely on the way. This is deeper. This is about being released from the belief that you were born to lack. It's about breaking agreement with the narrative that says you're always going to have just enough to get by. No, the new version of you is not tolerating crumbs when you've been assigned a table, and you are not meant to repeat the same hardship cycles your family went through. You were the one chosen to stop the lack story and start the overflow narrative. Do you feel it in your bones that something unseen has been activated? There's a wave building in the spirit. Something has already been dispatched on your behalf. But here's the part most people miss. Breakthrough doesn't always begin with fireworks. Sometimes it starts in a whisper, a deep knowing, a soft internal confirmation that says, "This is it. I won't live like that anymore. I won't cry over the same things again. I won't check my account in fear. I won't reduce my dreams to fit my current budget. I will expand. I will rise. I will walk into the provision already written for me." There is a decree over your life right now. It was written in the spiritual realm, and it says, the drought is over. No more cycles of famine. No more seasons where you give and receive nothing back. No more being drained by people who see your light, but never pour into you. You are moving into a new flow. You are being planted by rivers of abundance. And everything that was once dry in your life is about to bloom. Not one area will be left untouched. Look around your life for a moment. Things may not yet appear transformed, but the spiritual shift always precedes the physical manifestation. So don't judge your new season by old patterns. Just because the evidence isn't loud yet, doesn't mean the miracle isn't moving. In fact, the biggest breakthroughs come in silence first. Heaven is preparing the scene, and you are the center of it. The lack you've endured wasn't for nothing. It trained you. It prepared you. It kept you humble. Yes, but it also made you hungry. And now the hunger you carry is attracting the feast. Can you believe that? That you were assigned to feast. That you were meant to be the one who ends financial trauma in your bloodline. That you were divinely chosen to show others what it looks like to rise from limitation into liberation. You're not greedy for wanting more. You're not selfish for craving ease. You're simply remembering what you were born into, a covenant of abundance. It's been with you all along, but now you're aligned enough to receive it. There are moments when the universe aligns its forces to fulfill a decree. This is one of those moments. A divine command has been given concerning your life. Overflow shall be your portion. Where there was once stagnation, now there will be streams. Where there was once stress, now there will be stillness. Where there was once endless waiting, now there will be divine acceleration. Everything you thought was denied is actually being delivered with interest. But don't miss this chosen one. There's a reason why the delay was so long. There's a reason why the lack lingered. You had to be made ready. Abundance without wisdom is dangerous. Blessing without character becomes a curse. So what you walked through wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You had to learn the value of peace. You had to understand how to honor what you had before more could be added. You had to build strength in the silence before being seen by the world. You were not being ignored. You were being incubated. Now, the spiritual climate around you is changing. Opportunities are about to magnetize to you. People are going to speak your name in rooms you've never entered. Ideas are going to flow through you like rivers. And finances, they're coming in ways you didn't even expect. Unexpected transfers, radical promotions, sudden cancellations of debt, wealth being redirected to your account because of divine instruction. You don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. You only need to align with it. This is the shift that can't be reversed. Once the cycle breaks, the freedom begins. And this time, your freedom isn't temporary. It's permanent. You won't go back to old patterns. You won't sabotage your increase. You won't shrink yourself just to fit in rooms that no longer deserve your energy. You have grown. You have been refined. And now you have been released. Released into what? Into fullness, into financial peace, into emotional clarity, into divine compensation, into new territory, into the favor that's already yours. And all of it, every single blessing is going to feel tailor-made for you because it is. Because heaven doesn't deliver generic gifts. It delivers what is yours by right, written into your story, locked into your destiny. You are not going to circle that mountain again. You are not going to repeat that relationship pattern again. You are not going to re-enter the prison of just enough. You are stepping out of survival and into saturation. You are no longer asking, will I make it? You are now declaring it's already done. That's the frequency of the chosen one. That's the vibration of someone who knows the decision has already been made. It was decided, chosen one. It wasn't debated. It wasn't up for discussion. It wasn't a maybe. It was sealed. Heaven reached a verdict and it reads, no more cycles of lack. You are not allowed to beg for what belongs to you anymore. You are not permitted to apologize for wanting peace. You are not required to explain your blessings to those who didn't see your battles. You are simply being positioned, and what's about to find you will blow your mind. So many people have lived their whole lives inside a cycle they didn't even choose, handed down from generation to generation like some invisible chain wrapped around the soul. A belief system rooted in not enough money, not enough time, not enough hope, not enough worth, a chosen one. You were not born to carry that chain. You were born to break it. And that's exactly what has happened. A spiritual alarm sounded in the realm unseen, and heaven responded not with delay, not with denial, but with decision. That decision to interrupt your cycle of lack, and not just for you, but for every person connected to your destiny. This is about so much more than your personal breakthrough. It's about a bloodline shift. It's about redeeming years of generational exhaustion, years where people gave up too soon, years where dreams were buried because survival came first. But now, Survival is no longer your reality. Thriving is. You were never supposed to live in reaction mode. Always fixing, always catching up, always stretching just to make ends meet. That was not your divine design. That was the result of a system that tried to mold you into limitation. But you are unmoldable. You are rising beyond the expectations of those who thought they had you figured out. They didn't know that you were being fed by a supernatural supply line. They didn't know that heaven was your source. And now they're about to see just how much favor follows the faithful. You are being reintroduced to the world chosen one, not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. This reintroduction will be shocking because people are expecting the old version of you, the version that struggled to believe good things could last, the version that apologized for every little win, the version that kept dimming their own light because the room wasn't ready for the brightness. That version has been retired. The new you doesn't shrink. The new you doesn't hide. The new you walks in as if the room belongs to you because it does. And the room is not a metaphor anymore. Real doors are opening. I'm talking about physical, tangible blessings, opportunities you thought were lost, connections that are now resurfacing at the perfect moment, financial increase with no strings attached, divine restorations that money couldn't buy. These are not things you have to manipulate or maneuver to obtain. These are things coming to you because of alignment, because you've done the deep work, because you stayed standing when it was easier to collapse, because you decided that your story would not end in struggle. The divine realm honors decisions, and you decided to rise. But make no mistake, this rise wasn't fueled by ego. It was fueled by purpose. You didn't rise to prove anyone wrong. You rose because you had to, because there was something inside of you that refused to be buried. And now that seed is sprouting. The roots are strong. The timing is right, and what's blooming is breathtaking. People will wonder how it happened so fast, but you'll know it wasn't fast. It was just finally. Finally, the struggle isn't your storyline anymore. Finally, you don't feel like you have to earn rest. Finally, your name is being spoken with honor. Finally, your identity is no longer wrapped in scarcity. Finally, you're walking in the kind of faith that doesn't flinch. And that kind of faith, it moves mountains. It opens vaults. It attracts blessings that were once locked behind invisible walls. But those walls are down now, and what was once hidden is about to be handed to you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not lacking. You are aligned. This is the part where you stop running on empty. This is the part where you stop managing crumbs. This is the part where the overthinking stops and the receiving begins. Can you receive this chosen one? Can you make room for the version of you that no longer fears the unknown? Can you accept the fact that lack is no longer your portion? Because if you can accept that, everything shifts. You'll speak differently. You'll walk differently. You'll dress, breathe, think, and move differently. Not with arrogance, but with divine assurance. Assurance that says, I'm not begging for anything. What's mine is mine. And if it hasn't arrived yet, it's only because heaven is still customizing it for me. That's how the chosen operate, with trust, with presence, with certainty. The blessing of this moment is not just in what's coming, but in what's no longer controlling you. You are no longer under the grip of fear, no longer tormented by worry, no longer waking up in dread, wondering what disaster waits around the corner. That was the old pattern, but the pattern has been disrupted. The roots of lack have been pulled out. The soil has been renewed. You are fertile ground now, chosen one. And the seeds that are being planted now, oh, they are rich. They are golden. They are dripping with heaven's favor. And they will bear fruit faster than you've ever seen before. Don't be surprised when the pace picks up. Don't question the ease that starts to enter your life. After a lifetime of hard ease can feel suspicious. But don't sabotage it. You've earned this flow. You've paid the price in tears, in silence, in invisible suffering. You've already passed the test. This is your reward. The truth is, you're not even the same person who started this journey. You've been elevated inside. That's why the external world must now reflect the internal change. This is spiritual law. As within, so without. And now that you no longer carry a poverty mindset, the universe has no choice but to respond with abundance. The money will follow. The right people will follow. The breakthrough will find you. You won't have to chase. You won't have to strive. You'll be pulled into it by grace. It's like a divine magnet is now working on your behalf. Doors will open before you knock. Needs will be met before you speak them. Miracles will arrive before you even finish praying because it was decided. It wasn't suggested. It wasn't a possibility. It wasn't a vague hope. It was decreed, final, settled, and now it must come to pass. The cycle has ended, and so has the delay. Do not be distracted by what looks the same. The outer world takes time to catch up, but your reality shifted the moment you accepted the truth. Lack is no longer allowed to sit at your table. In fact, lack is now allergic to your energy. It cannot stay near you. It has been evicted from your vibration. And everything connected to you must now align with the wealth consciousness you've stepped into. This is not about greed. This is about glory. You are not trying to be better than anyone. You are simply reclaiming what was always yours. Your inheritance, your peace, your power, your provision, your joy. The world tried to convince you that you had to earn it, but heaven knew you only had to remember it. And now that you've remembered, it's flowing. Don't be shocked when you're finally able to breathe, when the knot in your chest finally unties, when the old worries don't resurface, when the bills get paid without stress, when you're able to give generously, travel freely, and rest fully. When you no longer feel shame for enjoying your life, that is the new standard. Not a one-time blessing, but a new lifestyle. Your energy has been upgraded. Your identity has expanded. And now, every single area of your life must respond in kind. Lack cannot live in your home, your body, your mind, or your bank account. This is a total shift, a complete reversal, and nothing will ever be the same again. You are not returning to old patterns. You are not revisiting old pain. You are not recycling the same tired struggles. You are moving forward, and forward for you means overflowing. It means increase. It means divine flow that never runs dry. It means supernatural appointments that lead to unimaginable rewards. It means walking into rooms where your name has already been chosen for favor. It means seeing the fruits of your faith, not just in dreams, but in your daily life. You are about to witness the proof, because the cycle was broken and the new season has begun. Now that the cycle has been broken, something incredible is taking place within you. Even if it hasn't fully registered yet, chosen one, your internal compass has shifted. You are no longer driven by fear. You are moved by faith. That subtle, powerful transformation is changing the direction of your life at a speed you cannot yet comprehend. What once terrified you now excites you. What used to make you shrink now stretches you into expansion. You've stepped into a reality where the energy of lack can't latch onto you anymore. It might try through old thoughts or sudden doubts, but the frequency you're operating on is now too high for it to grip. You've risen too far for it to pull you back down. The residue of survival is fading. The cravings for mere existence are being replaced by visions of legacy. That's what's rising in you now. Not a hunger for money, but a hunger for meaning. And that kind of hunger attracts miracles. That kind of hunger is what makes you a magnet for wealth that serves your mission, not just your comfort. And here's something sacred. You're not just exiting the cycle of lack, you're learning how to never return to it again. That's the difference. Anyone can catch a blessing, but not everyone is prepared to maintain it. But you, chosen, 1. You are being taught how to steward overflow, how to be responsible for abundance, how to carry more without being crushed by the weight of it. Because the truth is, it was never about the things, it was always about the preparation. Heaven was watching how you handled lack, not to punish you, but to prepare you for wealth. Would you complain or create? Would you despair or declare? Would you give even when it felt like you had little? Those moments were tests, and you passed them in ways you didn't even realize.